Hey again, what I want to do in this video, I want to do simple application that be able to sense the light in the room. So if you see now I'm in the room that doesn't have any light. If someone open the light in the room, this application will start giving me a specific sound. So this is the idea of my application. So let's get started and implement this application step by step.
So to get started, I will create a new folder and I will name it sensors. So I say sensors. Sensor because I need to do more than one app. I will take copy from startup and I will add it here. I will name this application light. Okay. And in this one, I will add this startup. Then go open Android Studio and I will run this light project to start working with it. So wait for seconds until everything be ready to start work with. So this is, I just open here my desktop, which is Kotlin Udemy, Kotlin, not Kotlin, I'm doing Android, then the sensors, light one startup. Why I do this? Because I need a project already have setting with Kotlin. You could do new project, you know that, but I'm doing this way because I don't want to spend my time every time repeat some command and maybe this command will change it, so I will change only first video. I will not change all these videos. So yes, waiting for seconds until he will be able to upload, to like load this application for us, and we could start working with it. While he's loading it, we think about the problem domain. What we want to do, we want our application to sense the light in the room whenever the light increases or whenever the light will goes down. So think about this problem. You want to sense the light. That means there's a device you have it, which is the Android device, and you use the specific feeders in that device, which is sensors. So I need to read the value from the sensor to see how much the light in the room to do specific things. What I want to do, if someone change the light of the room from the dark to open light in the room, I would play some music. So to do that, I will get started my project and I will start first waiting for some time until he load everything for me and the project be ready. This is my project startup. I will name it light sensor. Okay, then make sure go to bold clean project. Here we go. After a while everything loaded. So let me think first. I need my application, make sure my application will not run on device that doesn't have this sensor. So to do that, I will go to Numbizz. I say, hey, this device, anyone who want to use my app have to have this sensor. So I say use feeders, Android name, and I say Android hardware sensor accelerators. Then I say Android require true. What I mean by that, I mean, hey, if anyone want to download this application from the store, you have to have light sensor. Then second thing, I need to make sure to get a permission to access to the internet. Why? Because I need to use internet to run some music. That's good. So what I will do next, I will go to the file, Java file, or Kotlin file, and I want to implement specific event, which is sensor event listener. So sensor, I click sensor event listener, and the sensor event listener has methods need to be implemented because it is interface, so I need to implement these two. I don't care about accelerator, this one, not my interesting area. I'm caring about this one because this one will give me P2, which is event. You could name it event, or you could keep it V2. This one will give me value whenever the sensor is changed whenever he senses the light is changed in the room. So first of all, I need to do two things. I need to define variable for my sensor, which is instance of sensor class. So I say sensor in this way, and make sure initialize it with null. And for sure, whenever I want to use system service, I need to have a manager. So I need to have sensor manager, like what we said. You need to use access location. You need to use the location listener and location manager. Same thing this one. So sensor manager should be not this way, should be small letter, it is instance of sensor manager, and also still null. These both should go to initialize it in the onCreate method. So I say, hey, this sensor should be equal instance of the sensor class. So I say should be, it cannot get sensor. I have to initialize the sensor manager first, then the sensor. I say, hey, sensor manager equal get system service this way, get system service, the system service that I wanted, which is context this way, context. I'll always click enter, so he will be able to bring it to you. So I say sensor service as what I need as a sensor manager, because I need sensor manager. So I sensor manager. So yes, change it to sensor manager. Then I need to initialize my sensor also. I say sensor equal from the sensor manager dot get default sensor. So get default sensor, which is the sensor I needed, which is sensor the light one. There is too many sensors. I need only the light for now. You could use anyone. So you say if you see type light, so you see type light in this way. So hey, this my application want to use this type of sensor to be, so make sure this is need to be initialized. That's good. So this both I set them. So now I could start listening to my sensor. So now this one is event listener, so I need to start and stop it. I will do start on resume event, on resume in this way, and on pass, I think. Yeah, on pass will be better. So on resume started, on pass stop it, on pass in this way. So on resume I want to start the event for the sensor. What I will do, I have a sensor manager and I have a sensor. I say, hey, sensor manager dot register listener register listener in this way. Then I give it what I want to do, register this, and I will send second item my sensor I want to start listening to, and how I want to listen. I say sensor manager dot sensor delay 5 delay normal. So this is how you want to listen to the sensor. Make sure this one need to initialize it, and when I want to stop it, for sure this sensor manager I need to stop it. I say dot unregister. So when the phone is, it should be unregister listener, which is this. So which is really fine, because in this activity I already added the sensor listener event, and I implemented this to event. So when someone opens the activity, I will start listening to the light value. When someone go and open another activity, this my activity will go to backend, I just stop it, and that is. So this one just initialize them. So I'm interested, as I told you, in this one, which is sent to the light value. So it's really easy process, because this event have the value for the light. So I say, hey, if the events dot values, I need the values for 0, which is has a light value, greater than 14, that means the light value in the room greater than 14. This one have to be in this way. So you could do play the music. So you say play music, so whatever you want to do. But because play music have to have specific process, so I need to first of all to define my media player. I say, hey, MP media player should be part from media player for sure, for example, and this media player should initialize it by null. And also we could define variable for the is running, so I will not run it again, equal false. So make sure I'm not running the music again. So I say, hey, if it is greater than 19 and is running equal false. So make sure don't run music twice and make problems. So run music only one time. So yes, if it is not running, so make sure to change it here is running to true. So you don't want to allow him again, because the lights changes too much, up down. He repeat running the music too much time. So you just with this one you could avoid that thing. So if it is false, change it to true, then try to run music. How to run music? You know that, you did this a lot. So just try catch your error and say EX should be part of an exception. And yes, start doing it. So MP, initialize it here. Or you could do like initialize here if you want. Like why you do it in the app? You say, hey, MP, it is media player, should be instance of the media player. Okay, which is better, I think. Media player, and you say, hey, mp dot set data source. So you could set any data source. I have already URL, have an mp3 value to run, which is this one. As I told you, you could set it whatever you want, but I have this one. Then I say, hey, mp dot, what you do, prepare, then we do mp dot dot start, and we done. So this is a really simple app. You just run it and you will see how this app will goes. I will run it on real device in my hand.
Hey again. In this section, we will implement simple Numbizz application that you see it in this one. So this is my application. If someone do shock for the phone like this way, he start give me a shock. So this is the idea of my application. So let's get started implement this application step by step.
So Accelerator Center help you when you do application for gaming, like when someone moving the phone right, left, side, up, whatever. So simple example about Accelerator Sensor that what we will do in this video is the Numbizz. If you see the Numbizz application, when you shock the phone, he will look for some people around you. So what we want to do, I want when someone shock the phone, you will it will vibrate. The phone will be vibrate in a specific threshold. So first of all, you have to understand how the accelerator sensor will work. So if you see if the phone will be in the up down in this way, the Y will be in the top, 1Y minus will be in the down, X plus will be in this side, X minus will be in this side, and Z will be for minus in this way and Z plus for this way. So to get the speed from one point to one point, I will check how much when he was here, and then when he was here, then I get the difference, I will get the speed. So when he shook his phone, I will see first where he was, then when he be and how much the time he spent to go from first point to next point. Then I put my threshold. According to my threshold, I will decide if this one considered as a shock or not. So okay, let's get started to implement our application. So I will take copy from startup. I will go to the sensor, create a new folder. I will name it Numbizz, okay, and I will add my project there. Make sure create open Android Studio and try to do implement for our application. So waiting seconds until everything's be ready. So here is it, Android Studio, open it. I will select desktop, Android app, Kotlin application, Android. Make sure go to the sensors, Numbizz, startup, open. So let's wait 4 seconds until he start, implement do the project and everything be ready to start working on. Okay, after a while the project is loaded. I think everything is sound good. So going to our Gradle, and let me change the application name from the Gradle to the new project name. So it should be com.array numbers in this way, and make sure bold and clean your project. He's not enable us to do clean right now because he's doing loading somehow, so wait for some time, then do clean a project, so he will be able to clean the project. Again, the idea of this application is doing Numbizz, like I want when shock my phone I get some vibration, so just some Numbizz application. So to do that, first of all, we have to make sure that device have that type of sensor, otherwise we will not play the game with him. We will not allow him to use our application, so we don't want our application to get crashed. So to do that, first of all, we have to go to the main face, and the main face file, we say, hey, I need this use feeders. So use feeders, the device have to have name, which is this one. Again, Android hardware sensor accelerators should be required. Okay, true. So this one, the device have to have the sensor. And yes, I think I'm all set. So what next? I just go to the main activity and start implement my code. So what I need in my code, I need to work with sensors. So I just need to look for event name is sensor, event listener. So same thing that what we did it in the previous video, sensors, event listener. And because we are doing sensor event listener, we need to do implement for the two methods, so which is this one and this one. And here you go, implement them. I don't care about accuracy. I think I care only about this one, the sensor change value. You know the process that we did already in previous video. First of all, we have to define the sensor. Here on the top I say, hey, I have sensor, which is part from sensor, and then I do initialize for them, then I do run them. Same steps that you did it in the previous video. I say, hey, variable sensor should be part from sensor, and this one should be null. Hopefully repeating thing will make it easiest to understand. And I have to have, again, now I have to have sensor manager. So I say, hey, sensor manager should be part from sensor manager, and this one again should be initialized with null. Then when the application get created, this sensor manager have to be initialized. So I say get system service, make sure get system service, looking for context, which is hopefully he drop down list for us context, then select it so he could import what we need. Dot, now I need to sensor service again as sensor manager, and again sensor, I need to initialize the sensor. I say, hey, sensor will be equal from the sensor manager dot get default sensor. Here I will take another type of sensor, because there we took the accelerators. He will take sensor, not sensor manager, sensor dot type accumulator, this one, because this one will be responsible for getting the value of the sensor. So again, this one need to be read. So we have two methods also for register on unregister or sensor value. Yeah, you know that, you know the process. That was not, it's not too complex. Say, hey, if on resume and on pass, two methods. So on resume, you just restart you just start the sensor. So how to restart the sensor? You say, hey, sensor manager dot sensor dot whatever, just starting it. And the same process we do with this sensor manager start normal delay, and for complete, when you're done, you say sensor manager dot unregister. Just say, I'm done with you. I don't have and register in this way, and register listener, then this, because we are listening on this activity. This is all the process that is normal, you know about it. I don't want to teach you a lot about it, but important part for us, the changes happen here, which is this one, which is, I will name it event because I'm sure they will update it later on to event instead p2. So I have number of things. So I have variable for the x old value, x, y, z. So x should be 0, and I have variable for y old value will equal 0. I have variable for z old value will be equal 0. I have 3 old values for x, y, and z. Also I have the threshold for me. I say threshold, like how much the minimum threshold to do Numbizz. I will give it 300,000. Make sure define it as a variable, and also that you define time. I say old variable for old time, give it like 0. So this one, because I need it as a float, so it's better to be 0, 0. So I will define it as a float for me. You could define this one also as a float and this one as long. Keep it, there is no problem. So yes, now let me get a value. So I get a value for x, y, z, for current value for x, y, z. So for x, I will get it from the event. So I say events dot values. You now have number of values events. I will take 0. So 0 will represent that for value for x. Same thing 1 and 2. 1, 2. So y will be saved in the array in location number 1 in this array, and z will be saved in this array in location number 2. So 0, 1, 2. Okay. I will take current time. So I say variable for current time. We'll take the system time. So I say system dot current time milliseconds. I get the current time in milliseconds, and also I'm saying, hey, if the current time minus all time, there is a change in the time greater than 100. I use this value to avoid to call this method too much, like, because you know when you do Numbizz, if I don't add this code with you when you try to check your phone, he will execute this code thousands of times. But with this one, you try to reduce number of time of executing this part of the code. Then you say, okay, I have a variable for time diff will be equal the old value or current value minus old value. Then you say, I will tell you in details. Then you say, hey, old value will be current value. So old time will be current time. And it will tell you in a second what I mean by that. Then I say, hey, I have another variable, name it checking the speed of the vibration. So it will be equal to math dot absolute value for, yes, you could say x plus y plus z minus x old plus minus y old minus z old. You just taking the old value, subtract them from current value, you divide them by time difference, and then by 1000. This is just equation for me, like I want to see the current time, old time should be 0.0, so he consider as a float also, because here the value is coming as long. You could say this one is long, and you just saying, hey, old time is long, and you just get rid from this one. I think 0 will be enough. Yes, you just tell them this is long. So saying, hey, if there's a difference between old value and a new value, just give me the difference. Then I need to get the speed of movement between 2 points. take the new point, subtract them from the old point, divide them by the time difference. So this is the speed, the distance over the time. So you get the speed. By 1000, I get the speed. So okay, I have a speed. I say, hey, if the speed, for example, greater than the threshold, that's mean do the vibration for me. So to do vibration, you say, hey, var vibrate. You say var v or call. For do vibration, you have to call system service. You say, hey, get system service. Then you call system service, name it context. You make the phone doing vibration. Say context dot vibrate service. Then this one should be as vibrate. Okay, vibrator in this way. So this one should be your vibrators, but because you are using vibration, you have to make sure you also request this vibration in the main phase. So you have to go to the main phase. I say, hey, I need permission, use permissions to vibrate. So I say vibrate. This is important if you want to use this type of permission. Okay, I get this permission now to vibrate. For how long I want to vibrate, like for example for 500. So vibrate, I think, hey, vibrate for 500 milliseconds. And that is, you could show message also. You say, hey, to us to show message. For example, you want to show him message about, hey, he start vibrate. So I say, hey, to us to make text. You pass him application context, I think, because not everything work here. You say shock. Some shock happen in the phone. To us dot long. I know that sometimes they don't do autocomplete a lot, then do show. So again, I will tell you the story from the beginning. So I take the old value for XYZ and the last time that there's a shock happen and my threshold my speed. Then I get current XYZ, then get current time. I see if there is difference between old and new. I use this one to reduce number of time of using this code. So you know, when you move your hand from one point to other point, this one will call a lot. So I try to reduce number of calls, getting different time. And hey, to get speed, I subtract old value from new value, divide by time by 1000, I get 3 speed. If the speed is greater than my threshold, like I give it 300,000. If you just don't like it 300,000, you could make it like 300 only. If you 300,000, maybe too much, you need you to vibrate your device. Then I ask it to vibration, then I run my vibration. So what I will do, just run it and see how it's going.